What's up, guys? It's Gamer27, and today I'll be ranking all rare cards in Clash Royale. And I just wanted to apologize for putting this video on delay for such a long time. But in the end, I actually think it's good that I did delay it, because now there's a new Earthquake spell, which is a rare card, so luckily I'll be able to add it onto this list. So again, I'm sorry for the delay, but in the end, since I'm being able to add the new card, I think it's worth it for me not missing out on any new card. So anyway, with that out of the way, let's get into this right now. At 24 is Heal, and as you can see, I have my thoughts right in the top right. I hate this card so much. This is literally the only card in the entire Clash Royale game that almost literally does nothing. The heal spell does nothing. It lasts for like 3 seconds, and guess how much HP it heals per second? 40. So that means in general, the heal spell only heals 120 HP in general. I admit, for one elixir, it's not that pricey, but in general, it's just not a good card at all. It's trash and nobody should ever use it. That's all I got. Number 23 is the Elixir Collector. And honestly, I have no idea why this even exists. I think this card is absolute trash. The only reason it's higher than the heal spell is because at least this actually does something. But it gives you one extra piece of elixir every 8 seconds. But here's the problem with it. The problem with it is that it's 6 elixir. Yes, it costs more than half of your elixir storage just to use it. And besides, I'm pretty sure you gain less elixir from this than you do for you to spend this. So which is why the Elixir Collector is bad. At number 22 is the Tombstone. And this card is actually okay. This card is okay. It doesn't have much HP. The skeletons it summons always get shot in one hit, so those aren't really helpful. So you might be thinking, why is this above the Elixir Collector? Well, I'll tell you. You see, this card is good for bringing over Hog Riders or Ram Riders, and you can actually stop a Lumberjack and cards like that actually by using this method. It's actually not a bad card. It's actually used for bait, and for 3 elixir, it's actually a pretty good deal. But I can't adjust myself putting this above some of the other cards that do so much more, which is why the Tombstone ends up at 21 is the Zappies, or the Baby Sparkies, as I like to call them. Now the Zappies, they're actually pretty decent. The best thing about them is that you can mirror them, so there's 6 of them, and they'll completely stop tanks. I made an all-electric deck, and I had to use a mirror, so I had like 6 Zappies on the screen, which was really good. But the thing is, just 3 of these things, they really don't do that much. They don't do much damage. Sure, they stun opponents and stop Sparkies, but they really don't do that much. They die quickly, and for 4 elixir, that's a little pricey for what these guys do. But overall, they're actually pretty decent. Not bad, not good, just decent. Sorry guys, I just had to get rid of that light real quick. But anyway, at number 20 is the Flying Machine. Now, this card is okay. It's decent. It's decent. For 4 elixir, it's decent. It does a good amount of damage. Ground enemies can't attack it. But the problem is it has not much HP at all. It doesn't have much HP at all. I could probably just fireball and it would die in most scenarios. So, this card is okay. I mean, it's not okay. It's decent, but it just doesn't have that much health. It does good damage and it fires at a quick rate. It can actually do a lot to towers, but overall it just doesn't have too much HP, which doesn't make me feel good about putting it up in other spots, which is why that's number 20 on the list. At number 19 is the Ice Golem, and this Ice Solid Yeti is weird. I don't get why this card actually exists, because, I mean, this card is amazing and absolutely amazing for bait. And for 2 elixir, it does do well on that. But that is the Ice Golem's only purpose is for bait. Which I guess isn't technically a bad thing, but it just doesn't do, it does not as much as some other cards do, like the Wizard or Hog Rider or other stuff like that, which is why it's at number 19. At number 18 is the Three Musketeers, and I know you're probably expecting these girls to be lower, but honestly, I actually think they're actually a pretty good deal if your opponent doesn't have the Rocket or Fireball. Together, the Three Musketeers are a monstrosity to take down if you don't have a Rocket or Fireball. But the problem is, most decks do have those. But you want to know what the worst part about the Three Musketeers is? It's not that they die from a Fireball or Rocket. It's that they cost 10 elixir. Literally your whole elixir storage bar. Once you summon them, poof, it's gone. And if you summon them on one side, without a doubt, your opponent will start a huge push on the other. And if your opponent fireballs the Three Musketeers, then that's basically you basically behind 6 elixir compared to your opponent, which is a very, very bad elixir trade. So unfortunately, I'll have to put them at number 18. They're okay. I mean, they're decent, but they have a lot of flaws which keeps them from being. At number 17 is the Earthquake, the newest card in the game. This card is really only made for one purpose, and trust me, it is a master in that purpose. But aside from this one purpose, it literally does nothing else. The card literally does nothing else aside from its one purpose, which is to take down buildings. It takes down buildings super easily. It's super cheap for 3 elixir, but it doesn't really do that much else, if you know what I mean. It slows down troops, but it doesn't slow them down by a lot. It does almost no damage to troops or towers. So its only purpose is take down buildings. And to me, that's kind of a little lame. Comparing this monstrosity of real life nature being so weak against troops, which is kind of sad, but hey, what are you gonna do about it? So that's why it's at number 17. At number 16 is the Goblin Hut, and not gonna lie, this looks like something people from the past would build with all the spears and wood making it. It's actually a pretty nice looking hut, but this card is actually good. It is a little pricey for 5 elixir. But it summons spear goblins, which actually do stuff in compared to the tombstone and their skeletons. The goblin hut's more tanky than the tombstone. The spear goblins are more useful. And if you don't kill, the goblin hut spawns goblins like every 5 seconds. So if you don't take it down, your screen's gonna be full of spear goblins. Literally, there can be like 10 spear goblins all at once, which is like twice the amount you'll get from a goblin gang. So overall, the Goblin Hut's really good. It's used as distractions for Hog Rider. It brings out good cards, but I really have nothing else to say about it. It's not that perfect. There's other better cards out there than Spear Goblins, which is why it comes in. At number 15 is the Furnace, and this card makes me really feel the burn. Get it? Okay, I won't make any more bad puns, I swear. But anyway, the Furnace is better than the Goblin Hut in my opinion. It's because the Fire Spirits do more damage. Sure, they don't last that long, but these guys can actually really easily get you a tower win or take down swarms of troops. The Furnace overall summons Fire Spirits, which are better than the Spear Goblin. It still has the same amount of HP. It costs a little less elixir. I just think the Furnace is overall better than the Goblin Hut, but not much, but still worse than other cards in the game, which is why it comes in. At number 14 is the Musketeer. And yes, I know it's like a crime scene to put this under the Dark Goblin, But in reality, the Musketeer has a lot of counters, just like the 3 Musketeers. It costs 4 elixir, can be killed by rocket or fireball. The Musketeer gets countered by swarms. She gets countered by a lot of things. But she fires quickly and does lots of damage, which is actually pretty good for a 4 elixir card. This is one of the only cards in the game where I don't think 4 elixir, well, aside from the Hog Rider, I think it does a great amount for its cost for 4 elixir. So I just think the Musketeer is a really good card for many purposes, but not as good as some other cards who are made for even better purposes and do much more, which is why she comes in at number 14. At number 13 is the Dark Goblin. And like I said, the Dark Goblin is above the Musketeer. Only for a couple reasons. 1, he shoots much faster. And 2, he's much easier taking out swarms. And 3, it's also easier to take out tanks with them because of how fast he shoots. And he can also deal like 400 damage on a tower if you leave him alone. And considering he gets killed in like 2 shots, that just proves how fast he can fire. But unfortunately, his low HP is his big weakness. He basically just has the HP of a normal goblin, which again really isn't that great. His HP is just terrible. But for 3 elixir, he's a really good card. But that's really all he has going for him, alongside his damage and his attack range and his speed. Overall, the only negative is just his just his HP. But that's really at number 12 is the Barbarian Hut. And I know all of you are going to say, oh, it should be like in one of the bottom 10 or something. And I can see why all of you guys would say that. But I don't. I actually think this hut is better than most others, because just look at that crisp design. That design is crispy. Oh yeah. But anyway, I'm getting off topic here. I know, it costs 7 elixir, but it summons 2 barbarians, which are really strong, and can take out many things really easily. Again, it does cost as much as a P.E.K.K.A., but it's still great for bait, and it's just that the barbarians do more than the furnace, and a goblin hut combined. So that's basically why I'm putting this above. It's because it just does more in general. So that's why it's above the other huts. But it's still not as good as some of the other cards in the game. At number 11 is the Battle Ram. And this card is really, really good. It goes insanely fast. It does a ton of damage to whatever building it hits, if it hits any at all. But that's the only problem I have with this. It doesn't take that much for the Battle Ram, for the log thing to break. But luckily when it does, it will spawn 2 barbarians, which do some damage. And for 4 elixir, this thing is actually a lot of stuff for you for 4 elixir, which is why it's actually a really, really good card. But one of the best things about this is when you freeze a whole swarm of troops and then it rams into the tower and you win. Oh my gosh, that's so satisfying. But that's one of the best things you can do with the Battle Ram. It's overall a really good card, has a lot of purposes. It's used for bait, it's used for damage, it's used for a lot of stuff. But there's still cards that do better than this, like other cards. I'm always saying that because I don't want to spoil the other cards. So anyway, I'm back. Anyway, at number 10 is the Giant. And this is one tanky boy. This boy is a real tank, this one. Off topic real quick, just look at his giant orange eyebrows and beard. Wow, they actually look really good on him. But anyway, like I said, the Giant is a really tanky card. It takes a lot of hits to actually kill him. He's just really good. He does move slow, but his punches pack a punch, quite literally. Because as he can do 200 damage to your tower per hit. But one of the big weaknesses to this guy is well, he obviously gets attracted by buildings. And since he does move slow, it's easy for swarms to come and take him out, even if you have arrows or fireballs. But honestly, this guy's actually pretty cool. This guy's pretty cool. And for 5 elixir, he's one of the best tanks in the game for 5 elixir. But yeah, I have to put him here because, like I said, for everything, he's still not as good as some other cards in the game. At number 9 is the bomb tower. And I know, this card should be way lower because this card is absolutely trash. But you guys don't know how to play the bomb tower. Trust me, if you know how to play it, this thing can be a monstrosity to deal with. This guy, for 4 elixir, he destroys swarms, he lures over golems and stuff like that. Sure, he can't attack air, but I wouldn't actually consider that a weakness, considering how easily he takes care of swarms and princesses and other stuff like that. He's actually a really good card if you know how to play him correctly, which is why he comes in at number 9. It's because he's good if you know how to play this guy. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. At number 8 is the fireball. And this I actually used the fireball in my main deck. And that just should show you how great the fireball is. The fireball is a great card for 4 elixir. It almost destroys wizards. It can destroy the 3 musketeers. It will destroy any swarm. It does so much damage. Does so much damage for 4 elixir. I can't, aside from one card that's going to be on here later, I can't think of a better deal in the game for 4 elixir. That's why it comes in at number 8. But there is one spell that does top it. And that spell, of course, is the rocket. Now, the astronauts wouldn't want to use this rocket to get to the moon because, it explodes. So why would anybody want to do that? Anyway, I think the rocket is a little bit better than the fireball, just by a tiny bit, because it does much more damage. It can one-shot more things. The problem with it is that it costs 6 elixir, which is more than half of your elixir bar. But other than that, it just does more damage, and it also has a smaller hit radius, which is obviously a negative. But again, its pure damage just does more than the fireball does, which is why I'm putting it above at number 7. At number 6 is the Royale. But anyway, enough with the jokes. The Royal Hogs are a really good card. Don't know how they're able to see anything with those night helmets covering their eyes, but I really don't care because of how awesome these guys are. So these guys, for 5 elixir, do a lot of damage. 4 of these guys spawn and they run your tower. They attack like every 1.5 second, and they do 80 damage. And these guys are not easy to take out. They are not easy to take out. These guys have like 1,000 HP or something, which doesn't sound like that much, but for 5 elixir, and with these with 4 of these little guys, it's really a lot. It's really a lot of HP for a card for 5 elixir. Unlike the wizard. But he's still higher. I'm not going to spoil where he is yet. But yes, so that's all I got to say about the Royal. So anyway. At number 5 is the Inferno Tower. And this card is absolutely amazing. The Inferno Tower does so much. Again, it's used for bait. But the best part about this is that he kills swarms. Not swarms. He kills tanks so easily. Like, he can kill a golem before it gets to your tower. It can take out a P.E.K.K.A. It can take out a giant. It can take out your frustration of the game. This card can do anything you ask it to. Its only disadvantage is that it costs 5 elixir and it's terrible against swarms. But that's the only negative for it. Those are the only 2 negatives. So that's why this card is amazing. Number 4 is the Valkyrie. And the Valkyrie is a really good card. She's very tanky. She has a huge, what would you call it? Like, hit radius, making swarms die in like a couple seconds. But that's her main purpose, is to take out swarms. But luckily she does a lot of damage, so she's able to take out much more than that. And for 4 elixir, she's one of the tankiest cards in the game for 4 elixir. I mean, she's not like the tankiest, but just out of 4 elixir cards. But anyway, she just does so much. She takes out swarms so easily. She does a pack load of damage. It's not easy to take her out. All of that combined into each other makes a really good card, which is why she's at number 4. Pancakes! Anyway, aside from the memes, I've decided to put the Mini P.E.K.K.A at number 3. This card is really good, like the Bomb Tower, if you know how to play it correctly. The Mini P.E.K.K.A does a truckload of damage. He hits like a truck with his giant ship sword. He does have more weaknesses than the Valkyrie has, but he does more damage, and he's able to take out people. He's able to take out troops more easily than the Valkyrie. Well, not swarms, but like wizards. He's able to take out more tankier stuff than the Valkyrie does because he does just much more damage. Which overall, I think the damage about him taking out tanks means more than the Valkyrie taking out swarms, because there's other ways to take out swarms like spells. There's not as many ways to counter tanks, which is why the Mini P.E.K.K.A comes number 3 and taking the bronze over the Valkyrie. Number 2 is the Hog Rider. Now this card is amazing. This card is almost phenomenal. I love this card to death. I love how obnoxious he is in the commercials. I just love everything about this guy. But there's I love how he's so fast, and he does a lot of damage to literally any tower or building. He has a lot of HP. Hog Rider and Freeze is phenomenal. Almost everything about this card is great. And I'm glad that he doesn't attack troops. He just goes straight for the tower, making him an awesome win condition. And for 4 elixir, he's the best 4 elixir card deal you can ever get. Like there's no 4 elixir card deal better than this guy right here. That's why he comes in at number 2. Number 1 is the blue hooded mustachio man, the Wizard. I know a lot of you are going to disagree with me on this one because there's so many ways to counter him. And yeah, you make a very fair point. But this guy is a monster when going against literally anything. Takes out swarms easily, takes out flying swarms easily. He can take out tanks decently easily. He can take out Hog Riders kind of easily. He can just take down almost anything you got. Now, I know you're saying, but he get countered so easy, he has so little HP. But that's going to lead me into my next point. If somebody rockets or lightnings your wizard, you still got a positive 1 elixir trade. If they use a fireball, it's just a -1. It's really not that much. You're most likely not going to lose from a -1 elixir trade. You guys are thinking about this way too hard. The Wizard is actually a great card for any situation, which is why he has to be the best rare card in the entire game, without a doubt. And I gotta say, this card is on fire. Am I the only one that's gonna laugh to myself about this? Okay then. Well, that's gonna be it for the video. And if you did enjoy, be sure to like and subscribe for more Clash Royale rankings in the future. If this does reach 3 likes in a week, I will do ranking all common cards. So if I do reach that, stay tuned for that. Anyway, see you guys in the next video. Bye.